day 3 of learning CPQ and revision with Khushi. So in this video we are going to understand three topics. One would be QLE, another would be multi-currency, and the third would be pricing methods of list and cost. Rest two we will cover in the fourth video. Okay, let's get quickly started. So now what is QLE? Quote line editor. For example, this is a quote. Okay, when you click on this button edit lines, you will see a window like this. This is the header section, this particular line. The second line is the quote information, and these are the quote line items, basically the products that will be added on the quote. Okay, how you are going to configure them? Let's go back to our table and see. For the header section, we are going to use the custom actions. If you want to make any changes into the quote information, which is to the data which is present over here, you want to add more fields, go to the field sets of the quote object where there would be a field set named line editor. Similarly, if you want to change what else, right now we can see product name, product code, okay, quantity, markup, these all things we are able to see. If you want to make changes, you have to make the changes into the field set of line editor of quote line object. Okay, I hope we are good with the QLE part. Okay, so for example, now have you ever imagined that this is the button, right, from where we will be adding our products? Okay, sometimes it happens that you will not be able to see a particular product present. You have created a product, but on the click of it, you will not be able to see it. Why it happens? To make sure that your product is available here, you have to make that product as active, and you need to add, okay, an active price book over that product. Okay, cool. Then let's go back and try to understand our next topic, which is multi-currency. So there would be times, because say you are working on an international business, so you will have different types of customers. Sometimes your customers will be paying in USD, the other times they would be paying in rupees, sometimes in some another dollars or whatever, right? So you need to make sure you would be accepting in all those stuff as well, right? All those currencies. Right now by default you would be having USD. So we need to explicitly go to the company information and then enable our multi-currency thing, and then we have to set up the rate. For example, today's rate for rupees, when we want that $1 equals to say 93 rupees, right? So we need to set up those rates, and accordingly we can enable multi-currency. Okay, so that's it for the multi-currency thing. Now comes the pricing methods. Okay, so what is the need of pricing methods? First of all, so what will happen, there would be times that people will be interesting to buy your product, but you want to sell that product for different amount, right? Sometimes say there is a wholesaler and you want to sell something of $100, where usually you would be selling less quantity in dollar 120 dollar. Okay, so it would happen that sometimes you would be selling in a different amount, and sometimes you would be selling at a different amount, based on whether it's a retailer or the bulk quantities there. Accordingly you want to have it, right? So usually what you will think of it like, okay Khushi, we have price book already, so we will set more price books. Okay, we will add the price over the price book, and accordingly we will tell to our customer, right? But in real time it will not be the case, because as sales rep I may not have the flexibility to add the list price over the price book. Okay, so this is not a reliable case. That is the reason we have pricing methods. What do pricing methods do? So we have a total of 4. Today we are going to discuss only 2. So by default we have list pricing. So till now, whatever products that we have created, the pricing method over there was list. Okay, so what you will notice over here is that if I go back to the quote line items, for example, this seat cover, right? So again to our automobile example where we are selling the products related to the car. With this is where we have a kind of list price. So the amount is normal, right? You're not making any changes. But there would be a scenario, for example, the customer is interested in copper wire, okay, and copper amount, so based on the copper, right, every day the price of the copper changes. So similarly what will happen, your price of the copper wire also needs to be changed based on the condition. So every day the price will change, or something like that will happen. So it will not have a fixed price, the price will not be static. So in this scenario, instead of having a list price, we will have the method of having the pricing method of cost, which means that the amount is not a static one, it can change, right? So how to create a product related to the pricing method of cost? So you will normally create a product, but once the product is created, after that you will change the pricing method from list to cost, and then to any product. To make sure that a product is a cost type of pricing method, we need to first of all, definitely to every product we add some price book, right? But accordingly we also need to make sure that we are adding the cost record. I can show it over here. So if say these are the products, this is the copper wire, and if you see over here, this is the normal product, and in the related I will also have a price book, okay, and accordingly I will also have a cost. So second thing is that for any product where the pricing type, where the pricing method is cost, you need to add a record of cost, and whatever amount that you will add over here, that is considered as the base amount. And if you look at the quote line editor and into the quote where you see this copper wire, this is a special field where I have added from the line editor, uh, the one that we were discussing earlier. This is a field which you will see that generally it is locked for the products which are having list pricing method, but it is editable for here, right? Which means that as a sales rep, whenever the price changes for the copper wire, okay, I can make the changes over here based on whether the change was into the percentage or into USD. Accordingly my price will be changed over here. Now you will notice here that the list price is 0 but the net price is 1050, because whatever changes that you make over the markup, they come from the cost, okay. I hope we are good with this. And one interview question that I would generally see over here is, so the way I have added two price books onto one product, right? Can we add two cost into one product, and do we need that or not? That's it for today's video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.